Welcome to the Rock Your Comeback podcast. I'm Nicole Eaton, author of the books Rock Your Soul and Rock Your Comeback, as well as an intuitive therapist, and I'm here to remind you of your power. This podcast focuses on mindset and inviting the universe in to create a life that feels so good, so aligned, and so authentic. I hope you're ready. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Rock Your Comeback podcast, and it's actually the last episode of 2023. I've decided to take a couple weeks to enjoy the holidays with my family and to really get back into my creativity. First, I just want to acknowledge all of the incredible guests I've had on this year. I've been mind blown by some of these conversations, and if you're just tuning in now, this is a good sign for you to go back and to listen to some of the most incredible conversations. I know that my top podcasts on Spotify, my top episode was with Ashley Gordon on how to trust yourself and the universe. But I've just had some incredible people. I have one coming up in January that I recorded this year that I'm really excited about. Paul Blanchard was a guest that stood out. All of my conversations with Heather Mayo. This has been a year of reinvention, a year of putting myself into new energy, and a year to try something different. And I'm really grateful that you all came along on this journey with me. I got my Spotify Wrapped for podcasters. I didn't know if you knew that they did that you get this little thing giving you a summary of your podcast, a summary of how it's gone this year. And I've put out over 1,100 minutes of podcasting this year. And I've been streamed in 15 different countries, and it was a really fun thing to say that I'm 55 people's top podcast. And 55 probably doesn't sound like a lot to you, but for me as a podcaster, when you're talking to people, it's always so hard to know if you're reaching anybody. It's always such a thing that you do because you love to do it, that you keep going and you keep sharing and you keep giving people the content that is on your heart and on your soul. And that's something that is challenging from time to time. This is the last podcast of the year for a lot of reasons. One being, again, I want to take time with family, but this week I've just been in my head way more than usual. And I'm human, and that's normal. And I realized that I have been consuming a lot more than I've been creating. And I've been creating for the wrong reasons. I've done a lot more work on my business to try to do more things in a more businessy way. I've always done things through my intuition and through manifesting, and a lot of times that works really, really well. And a lot of times there are things that are helpful to know about the structure of sales, about the structure of email, about all of these things. And so when I was trying to implement more of that, I was stepping away from my authenticity, and it's draining. I felt like I was never doing anything right the last couple of months. I felt like I was pushing hard to make the content that I thought people wanted, not the stuff that was on my heart. And I was feeling just lost in it all. And so I actually deleted Instagram, deleted all social media for a couple days just so I could hear myself think, so that I could get back into my creativity. And the thing is that I create because I have knowledge that I know will change people's lives if they listen to it, if they try it out, if they play with it. I know that for a fact. And when I come back to that and allow my intuition to guide me on how to do that, how to share that, how to stay in my creativity. And when you think of creativity, like I think of in spirit, inspired. When I'm inspired, I am in spirit. I am aligned with my source. And I was listening to a podcast where this guy was talking about how the most powerful frequency in the world is the power of authenticity. The frequency of authenticity is the most powerful energy and frequency that you can measure with frequency measuring, energetic measuring tools. That is the most powerful, is authenticity. So if I am stepping out of my alignment to try to do things the ways that have worked for other people, which I know better, then I'm not standing within my authenticity. So as we step into the new year, this is a good reminder for you and for me to not let the world be louder than you, to not let social media make you feel like you should have more, be more, do more, to not make other people's rules about their life feel like they're imposing on yours, to not, you have to drown it out. You have to drown out the voices that telling you you need to buy more, you need to consume more, you need to be doing more, because there's this constant pressure in society to buy, to do, to have, to become. And I think that the paradox of all of that is that the actual joy is felt in being. The actual joy comes from being in the present moment. The actual joy comes from disconnecting from your phone. The actual joy comes from finding your own personal place of creativity and allowing and giving permission and non-judgment to explore and play and try that on and see how it feels, and to not have to decide that it has to produce an income from that play, to not decide that that creativity has to be something for somebody else instead of just you. And I don't know who else needs to hear that message today, but I know I needed to remind myself of it. I needed to remind myself that I am enough as it is, and that when I am in my enoughness and I remember who the fuck I am, and I will always show back up daily to remind you who you are, even when you forget. And there's days where you're going to know it, and there's days where you're not going to know it. And both of those days are absolutely fucking fine, because the minute you remember that you are a power and a creative energy, the minute that you remember that this life is here for you to live, not for you to compare yourself to everybody else who's also living it. And social media has made that very hard to not do the comparison. It has made it so hard to not feel like you're not enough. And the thing is there is a book by Michael Easter. And in this book, I want to say it's called Scarcity Brain, but in the book, he talks about the fact that we are not evolutionary equipped to feel enough. So if you're not feeling enough, that's normal, that's standard, that's fine. Because if you were to feel enough and you're a caveman, you would not be expanding in the ways that you're meant to expand. You would not be pushing in the ways that you're meant to push. You would not be searching for more food or a better place for your tribe to live. That is evolutionary. But because we know that, we don't have to take it seriously. And we don't have to let all of these other messages inundate us and make us believe that we're not doing enough, that we're not doing well, that other people have it better, that they're doing more, they're making more, they're more successful, they're more whatever. I don't know who needed to hear that today, but you are enough as you are. You are fantastic as you are. And when you're able to shut down from everything else, from the obligations, from the facades, from the internet, from just texting, from whatever, you're able to step into that authenticity, that frequency that is the most powerful frequency that can be measured. But only then. Don't let the world become louder than you. And when you need to tune back in, when you need to do something different, it's a sign and a symbol to come back within, to step into your light, to make your world quieter, to make your world less. I think that that's the most incredible thing, is to make your world less, just to get real quiet in your own life and to shut down for a little bit so you can hear yourself think. And you can ask yourself how you feel about things, and you can explore what feels right and true to you, because in the quiet is where you find your alignment. In the quiet is the only place you can find your alignment. And when I say alignment, for anybody who's not familiar, what I'm saying is the ability to feel aligned within yourself between your actions, your words, and what you're thinking and feeling. All of those things, when they're in the same place, they feel calming and soothing to our soul. It's how we hear our soul, and it's how our soul also tells us when things aren't right in our life. And that might be that you're going down a path career-wise that no longer feels aligned. That might be that you're going, to move, and that feels more aligned, but maybe it feels scary. And there's a difference between the things that feel right and inspired in our lives, and the secondary thought behind them that they're scary, or the fear that we develop of all the what ifs that could happen when we make those changes. So this is your sign. to get back into alignment with yourself, which means getting quiet, which means letting your voice be louder than anybody else's, because at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. At the end of the day, that's all we've got. And at the end of the day, you are a powerful creator of your reality. And there's no fucking way you can remember that if you're in the comparison game, if you're trying to be something you're not, if you're trying to open your energy and do tools and things that don't feel aligned just because you think you should. If you're in the world of should, you're in the wrong world. You're in a misaligned world. If you're anywhere near the world of should, you are probably misaligned because you are trying to fit a circle into a square box. That actually might fit now that I think about it. Maybe it's a square box into a circle box. I'm just the messenger. But anyway, again, this has been a really spectacular year for me, and I'm really happy to leave you on that note of a reminder of who you are and who you're capable of being. I'm so grateful for 1,100 minutes with you all. It has been a fucking honor that anybody would click on a button to listen to me speak, because sometimes I ramble and I'm very tangenty, and just know that the things that I'm passionate about, I am deeply passionate about. And if they've changed your life at all, I'm just really grateful for that opportunity to walk alongside you in your comeback journey, to guide you in whatever ways that you feel called or aligned to. And I look forward to all the ways we get to show up in the 2024 year. I'm doing some really cool stuff over on the Comeback Club over the next month. We're going to do the 13 Wishes Challenge. We are going to do a Best Year Yet event. We've got our live Q&A coming up. And right now, if you use the code THANKS22, it is $5 for your first month. And that's it. You get access to every course I've ever made. You get all these events, all of these things we're doing together for $5. And I think that's a well worth investment on yourself. Also coming up in the Comeback Club, we're going to do a book club for Rock Your Comeback, which is so exciting and so fun and so cool that I get to walk with you through through my self-help book. So if you've ever been reading a self-help book and be like, wouldn't this be cool to walk through with the author? Like, how can I, take the things I'm reading and apply them to my life and be intentional and ask questions and get them answered? So we will be opening that up in January, and I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun and so worthwhile. And coming up this year in Charlotte, if you were live in person in Charlotte, I have the Best Year Yet event. The Best Year Yet is going to be a lot of fun. It's a live podcasting event. So think of it like a talk show where we're going to talk about the things that just weren't working in 2023 and some things that might, just getting you in good spirits, good vibes, good energy. It's $20 a ticket, and it comes with beer, wine, and charcuterie. I literally couldn't believe that when the venue agreed to this. Like, could not believe that they were just allowing beer, wine, and charcuterie as part of the ticket price. $20. Grab your girlfriends. Let it be a girls' night out. It's from 4 to 6 on January 13th. And last but not least, biggest event of the year of maybe my career, we are doing a retreat. Christy Forsyth and I, my original Clarity Girl partner, we are doing a healing retreat. So it's called the Quantum Glow Up. It's to help you make a massive quantum shift in 2 days. So we're going to do a whole day of energetic healing at a cellular level alongside the mental stuff. And really, truly, like when you think about healing, the difference is it's not knowing and applying the knowledge. It's actually energetic transformation. So we'll be doing a whole day of that, and then a whole day of creating incredible future for you, getting you into the energy of the future, getting you stepping in and allowing those shifts to take place and take place fast. So we're looking forward to that. You can find all the links in my bio. And again, thank you for a wonderful 5th season of Rock Your Comeback. 2023 has been incredible, life-changing, and I'm so grateful for all of you. Take care. Thanks for listening. Make sure to get a copy of my latest book, Rock Your Comeback, The Down-to-Earth Guide to Reclaiming Your Power, just about everywhere books are sold. Join the Comeback Club for exclusive access, masterclasses, and more. And I always love to know what you think, so make sure to shoot me a DM or leave me a review. Thanks for listening to the Rock Your Comeback podcast. I hope you're feeling inspired, motivated, and ready to take on the world. Now go step back into your power. The world's been waiting for you. But first, if you could, leave me a review or share with a friend. Thank you.